Hi, I'm Greg Hunter, and this is the weekly news wrap-up for Friday, December 9th, 2011. Big meeting going on in Europe to try to solve the European debt crisis. It's really a solvency crisis. That's what they're trying to stave off, an absolute banking collapse. And Nicolas Sarkozy, the president of France, said that the risk of disintegration has never been greater. He's talking about the European Union. He also was quoted this week as saying there could be an explosion because of this debt crisis, and only gives Europe another 2 weeks or so to come up with a solution. Now, this is not some crazy guy in a cave somewhere. This is the president of France. My question is, what does he tell his really close friends and family about this situation if he's willing to say that the European situation can explode and that the risk of disintegration has never been greater? This is a serious problem, and it's accentuated by George Soros. He says the same thing. He says that Europe is in the process of disintegrating. Also, the S&P 500 basically threatened a ratings downgrade of 15 EU nations, a ratings debt downgrade. And we're not talking about just Portugal and Greece, we're talking about France and Germany. That would drive up their borrowing cost and surely spiral them into an even deeper depression than they're already in, and they're going to suck the rest of the world right down along with them. This week, John Corzine, the former chief of MF Global, former governor, former U.S. senator, testified in front of Congress, and of course he said he doesn't know where the money went. He has no idea. We're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of, it's been reported, $1 billion to up to $3 billion of segregated customers' accounts. Not money in play, money segregated in individual customers' accounts. No idea where the money went. He also said he had no intention of breaking any rules. You know, that's like doing something crazy and reckless, like driving 125 miles an hour on a city street, and then when the police pull you over, say, "Hey, I had no intention of breaking any rules. Sorry." It's unbelievable. Next up, we have to talk about the geopolitical situation. There was a big downed U.S. drone, a spy plane that was knocked down. Now, we're talking about some small thing with a propeller. We're talking about a $6 million stealth drone that has a 65 feet wingspan. Now, the U.S. says it wasn't shot down, that it just merely went astray. The Iranians say, "Oh, no, you were spying on us, and we shot it down." At any rate, the Iranians are worried they're going to be attacked over their nuclear program. They say it's for peaceful purposes. The IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, says it's consistent with building a nuclear weapon. Well, we shall see. Now, China has said recently that it will defend Iran even if it means starting World War III. That's what they said. They also put their Navy on a war alert this week. Also, rumors of war in Israel and between Israel and Syria. There are Navy, warships off the coast of Syria. Big things are going on. The Revolutionary Guard in Iran have also been put on some sort of a war alert. And things are very, very dicey in the Middle East. And of course, if Iran is attacked, most analysts say, and I included, and this is, you don't have to be an analyst or a rocket scientist to figure this out. Their big trump card is the Straits of Hormuz. Iran sits on the northern part of the Straits of Hormuz, which is a narrow passageway on the eastern part of the Persian Gulf. It's only 30 miles wide. That's not much when you're talking about a giant oil tanker going through there. Analysts say the first thing they'll do is shut it down, and that's where 40% of the world's oil moves through every year. If that happens, you can expect oil prices to spike. Also, you can pretty much expect oil prices to go up, if not spike, because more sanctions are being put on Iran. This is a very dicey situation. As I said earlier, you should watch out for this. If war breaks out, you can expect gasoline and oil to skyrocket. Next up, and finally, Ron Paul. Did you hear about the big nationwide poll by a mainline news agency that says Ron Paul is beating all of his Republican contenders by nearly 2-to-1 combined? all of his contenders combined, he has twice as many votes. This is according to U.S. News and World Report. This is a mainline news organization that said Ron Paul got nearly 66% of the vote. Everybody else split up about, the rest of the vote, the 34%. That's unbelievable. This is a mainline news organization. I pretty much haven't seen much coverage in the mainstream media. Now, whether you like Ron Paul or not, I have to say this as a journalist. Listen, this is a major publication, U.S. News and World Report. This is a landslide poll in favor of one candidate. And I don't care if it's Ron Paul or Mitt Romney or Newt Gingrich. This should have been widely reported in the mainstream media, and it wasn't. And I think it further proves the mainstream media doesn't like Ron Paul, and it continues to ignore him. And that simply is not right, not journalism, and is not fair. That's the way I see it. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting the Weekly News Roundup and USAWatchdog.com.